Hello everyone and welcome. It's April 6th and this is Afghan Voice Agency. President Ashraf Ghani said Monday at a meeting with elders from various provinces that violence and bloodshed in the country is not acceptable. The presidential palace said in a Facebook post. According to Ghani, the international community should hand over necessary guarantees for ensuring peace in the war. Ghani added that any political decision he makes will be based on the Afghan constitution. He also said that he wants a just and durable peace in a country and that an opportunity for peace has now presented itself for the first time in 40 years. A U.S. watchdog in a report released last month says that 46% of the Taliban's revenue comes from narcotics. The U.S. Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction in its report cites a meeting with Resolute support officials in February 2018, saying that a senior official from the Resolute Support Counter-Terror Finance still estimates that between 40 to 60% of the Taliban's revenue comes from narcotic trafficking. The Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction also quoted a UN report as saying that Afghan officials estimate Taliban income from narcotics between January 2018 and June 2019 to be approximately $400 million. According to Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, the UN report also notes that the Taliban now controls all aspects of narcotics production, which likely indicates that their total revenue are even higher. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Tuesday, India is an important player in the political settlement in Afghanistan and that it should be engaged in international efforts supporting the Afghan peace efforts. Quoted by Indonesian Times, Lavrov said that India should undoubtedly be a part of international efforts to find a settlement to the situation in Afghanistan as it is an important player in such individuals. He said that India is not a participant of the extended Troika summit in Afghanistan, hosted by Moscow on March 18, aimed at helping the Afghan peace process, adding that at the same time India is a part of the Moscow format, uniting the neighboring state of Afghanistan, key regional countries, and the USA. Continuing his condemnation and illegitimacy of the current war in Afghanistan and the need for an immediate ceasefire to stop the bloodshed in the country, Sunni and Shia scholars and scholars of the migrant community and Ansar in Mashhad, Iran, their full support for the ceasefire and declared bloodshed in Afghanistan, attending a joint conference on the Afghan peace process and issuing a joint statement. They stressed the importance of ongoing peace talks and global and regional efforts to end the war and bloodshed in Afghanistan and to preserve the achievements of the last 2 decades within the system, Republic also emphasized. Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed a bill which allows him to run for a 5th term as the country's head of state in 2024. Under previous legislation, he would have had to leave the Kremlin at the next election. The newly signed bill comes after the country voted in favor of a new constitution last summer, with 78.56% of voters supporting the changes, according to the official tally. Putin is currently in the middle of his second consecutive stint in the Kremlin and his fourth in total. Under the old rules, presidents were banned from serving as a head of state for more than 2 terms in a row. This meant that Putin would have been unable to contest the race for the Kremlin next time around. Palestinian children continue to suffer on the Palestinian Child Day.
Palestinian children continue to suffer due to Israel's inhumane practices as they mark Palestinian Child Day. Israeli forces have killed and injured thousands of Palestinian children over the past decade under the watchful eye of the international community. Last year alone, Israeli forces killed 9 Palestinian children. During a press conference marking the annual event, Palestinians demanded that Israeli forces be held accountable for their crimes against Palestinian children.
Israeli soldiers are acting with impunity because they feel that they will not be prosecuted for their crimes. Such policies have encouraged Israeli soldiers to violate our rights. The international community must take concrete steps to prosecute those Israeli soldiers who kill and maim us on a daily basis.
Scores of Palestinian children lost their lives during the Great March of Return peaceful rallies due to Israel's use of excessive force against peaceful protesters. According to human rights organizations, the Israeli attacks on Palestinian children were systematic.
Thank you so much for being with us, and until next time.